Race 5, we have 1100 metre, benchmark 56. This was a very, very good race. I'll pass it on to Gavin, but it's out of one of his stables up there that the trainer actually trains his on the puppet. We got good mail on this thing last start that he was running very, very good. It actually came out and brained him. It's in a small field again in field of 5. So I'll switch it over to Gavin as he's got a report on this horse.
Yeah, so this is from the same stable as when my horse is the Gary LaFoe stable. Now this horse it's just in career best form. Won its last 2 starts. Yeah, you have a look at some of the results that or has some sort of the sectionals it's been running up there. It broke 103 up there for the 1100 back-to-back time. It's run 102.8. Now they don't do that often up there. That's a pretty smart horse. So it's in electric form. This is, for me, it's actually gone back in class. So it's back to a pretty simple race. So I want to give a big sort of shout out to Gary's assistant trainer, a girl called Chloe Baxter up there, who handles this horse personally. Now she, from what I know, Chloe owns the horse, and she is almost like the senior trainer for her animal. Obviously Gary oversees the stable, but she looks after this. Now, she's got this horse absolutely flying. Don't be afraid to back this horse. It's drawn beautifully. Paul Shear's on his road the last couple of times. He knows how to ride it. He does all the track work. So he's just simply going to jump, lead, win. It's going to be that simple. I'm going to be putting this along with our other best bet, obligatory in the race before. We're going to make this another back-to-back really good bet that you need to be launching into. So we're going to be having First Crusade on top. Now, there's a horse which I think is going to run a big race tomorrow. A horse called Super Famous. It's got some really good form lines through a horse that was winning down at the Alice Springs Carnival, a horse called Starlight Valley from the Kim Healy stable. Now, this horse ran some really good races down there. Ran a solid 5th and 9th, beaten a few lengths, but Starlight Valley is quite a good animal up from South Australia. So that form line stacks up really nice, and it had a really good second to Signal Fangio, the start 3 starts back when it runs second of that, and that horse actually came out and started favourite there 2 weeks ago down in Alice. I think it ran 3rd that day, or just the back sort of placing. So that form line stacks up. I think it's gonna run second and fill the Quinella. And there's a horse there called Yarumba, which we picked the 3rd. Now it's a bit of a lottery 3rd, to be honest with you. I don't like anything beyond those 2. I think they're going to run the Quinella, but I think First Crusade is just too good for him. So it looks a really good bet, Timbo.
Beautiful.
All right. So we're sort of getting to the back end of the program now, and on to the last race, and it's probably, in our opinion, not the easiest race to be looking at. We sat down for a while, did a number of videos, poured through some old form, but I know, mate, you actually like one here.
I do.
And he's actually talked me around of why he likes it, and now we've sort of jumped on board, and it's probably going to be a great way to finish the program. So this is the benchmark 54 over 1100. So what do we got, mate?
Mate, there's a horse we have in there, like I said, Clark stable. Like I said, Todd rode this horse last start. It ran second to Gavin's best bet of the day in the race before. This horse, Chief Mondo, ran second to this horse last start. First Crusade last start was just too good, far too good, which she is on board for the runner before. So stacking up against that form, this Chief Mondo should be storming home. I think he might lead. So if he can lead and Shearsy's on board, like I said, he's jumping out of barrier 4. He should cross. He should get an easy lead, and he should actually be definitely in there. If he doesn't cross and lead, he should just sit outside the leader. But from all reports, mate, I think the other form line around this race, I don't think it's good enough for Chief Mondo. I think he's just too good for this to finish it off for the day with Shearsy on board. So I will be going. I'll be going Chief Mondo to win. I'll be going. Will remember. We'll remember the Casey Hunter from Clark's horses stable as well. Second up, and like third's a toss of a coin. We can throw anyone in there, but out of those 2 runners, I just think Chief Mondo is going to be too good for We Will Remember to finish the card off. Okay.
Well, that sort of finishes the program. So look, it seems a pretty good day betting. We're glad to be back in Darwin, aren't we, mate? We had a mixed sort of bag last week down at Tennant Creek. Darwin's where we sort of started and launched our sort of a form service and when we started tracking races. So we feel pretty confident about Saturday's meeting. So look, feel free to sort of send any sort of messages to us, any questions that you got, any sort of questions around the form, any questions that you have around some horses. If you want to know the overall speed map of a race, feel free to sort of reach out to us because we're sort of open to that.
Yep.
But I'll just before we go, mate, and I know we've mentioned Paul Shears a lot during this chat. He could have a day out on Saturday.
Definitely, yes.
He's got some pretty good rides, and he's got some pretty good rides in the absence of Jared Todd not being there as well. So he's riding some good horses for his own stable, which is our stable up there, which is the LaFoe stable. When I got 2 horses with Gary, and he's got the pick of the rides for Gary Clark. So Sheezy could have a day out.
He was actually on my best bet obligatory, but actually he's riding in the same race with someone else. So I actually tipped in to ride the last 3 winners of the day up there, but he's jumped off, so he'll just have to settle for 2.
Well, he's on my best bet of the day,
exactly,
or our best bet of the day, I should say, which is First Crusade. So he doesn't ride the Puppet in race 1. Don't forget to sort of have a look at that race too to launch the day off. Feel free to play some sort of multis through a couple of those horses if that's the way your game runs. But all in all, we'll sort of be back next week with the sort of same rundown of the weekend's racing. We've got a big weekend next weekend. We've got Darwin on the Saturday and we've got Alice Springs on the Sunday. So it's going to be a big sort of weekend, and we're sort of getting ready for the Darwin Carnival, which is that sort of August time. So anyway, mate.
Beautiful, mate. Thanks. Yep. It was great, guys. Happy punting on Saturday. Like you said, feel free to drop. I'm actually going on a couple of other platforms Friday night, so once the odds will be released, they usually get released around 4 o'clock on a Friday afternoon, 4 or 5 o'clock. So if you've got any questions about the odds and where you think this horse is sitting with the when they're odds, if you think it's good enough odds, let us know and we'll tell you our opinion where we think you should take fixed price or just stick top toe.
All right, there we have it, guys. Good luck for Saturday. Hopefully we'll be doing our sort of wrap up of the race day, and we can talk about a number of winners and kick this off with some some wealthy followers. All right, so happy punting.
Thanks, guys.